केशवचीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे हरे जय जगदीश हरे Jaya Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev. Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Bhakta Prahlad, Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Gauda Hari. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gaur. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gaur. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gaur. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Narsingadeva Bhagavana ki Jai Bhakti Sarvamani Prahlad Maharaj ki
Hare Krishna. So I'd like to welcome everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us for this very special festival. Shri Gaur Purnima Maha Mahotsav ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Shri Pancha Tattva ki. Our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, His Honorable Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki. Hare Krishna. So please, we request everyone to kindly settle down, and if you can come as close as possible. We are surely going to have an overpacked temple room, so please, if you can come as close as you can. Thank you. So few quick announcements. So our schedule now is immediately we are going to start off. Shh. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Please settle down quickly. So our schedule is we are going to start off by a talk by His Holiness Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj on glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Haribo! And after the talk at 5:30, we'll start with the Abhishek. We'll have a Panchatta Abhishek will be there. It's a beautiful ceremony. Everyone can participate. There'll be nice kirtans. We'll be having full Abhishek of Panchatattva. And after the Abhishek, we'll have Gaura Arti. And then we go downstairs. There is a beautiful drama performance and a dance performance. And then we will have Prasada. So we have a completely packed evening, lots of activities just to completely absorb our mind in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so we'll try to keep the schedule and we'll keep going on. So please keep your consciousness awake and as much as possible have that mood of prayer and absorb the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also very quick, we have sponsorship opportunities for this very special day. So if you like to sponsor any aspect of the festival, we have the Artik and Abhishek sponsorship for 108, flowers for the festival $251, the feast for $301, and then the entire new DT outfit for $501. So if anyone like to sponsor, you can please let me know. Thank you so much. And we also like to welcome all the students here from NC State University and UNC University. Haribo, let's welcome them. So thank you so much. So we have the class by Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you very much, Aditya Narayan Prabhu. And today we have the Gaura Purnima program. So first I'm going to explain what Gaura Purnima is, and then we're going to chant a little song in English. Don't report me. So I'm going to chant a little song in English that was written by one of my godbrothers, Mangalananda Prabhu. And then we'll chant a little Hare Krishna in Sanskrit. So, anyway, so Om Gana Timidandasya Gananjana Shlakya Chakshurun Miditam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. So I'm going to describe what Gaura Purnima is. First of all, let's describe what Purnima is, in case some of you don't know. Purnima means the full moon. And if anyone's looked out at the sky in the evening, you'll see that the moon is now full. So the Vedic calendar, which we follow, and actually all traditional calendars were based on the moon rather than the sun, is based on moon cycles. So you have different days of the moon. The first day, second day, third day, etc. 11th day is actually special for us because we do a special fast and more chanting on the 11th day. And then the moon is the 14th or 15th day. And that's either the full moon or the new moon. New moon means the moon disappears. And full moon means the moon is full. But the moon's always there, but sometimes it disappears to our eyes. So, on this particular full moon day, over 500 years ago, a great personality appeared. His name was Lord Chaitanya. Of course, he wasn't given the name Lord Chaitanya when he appeared. He was given the name Gaura Hari. And the reason he was given the name Gaura Hari is because when he was young, he started preaching even from when he was a little tiny baby. That's pretty unique, isn't it? How did he preach? He preached by getting people to chant Krishna's names. As you all know, the name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Actually, he preached at his very birth. And he preached by what we call a transcendental trick. And what was that trick? That during his birth, or what we call appearance, because actually Krishna is never born, he just appears. And sometimes he appears as an ordinary person, but actually he's never an ordinary person, because Ajopisana Vyatmam Bhutanami Shropisham Srap Prakatin Shwamadistaya Samavamyatmamaya. He comes in a spiritual body. I did not come in a spiritual body. I'm not going to describe my body, but it ain't spiritual. And probably no one here in the room will happen, unless you happen to be an avatar. Anyone avatar here? Raise your hand if you're an avatar. So unless you're an avatar, you didn't come in a spiritual body. You came in a body that's composed of the material elements. So how do we know he was, first of all, let's backtrack. How do we know he was an avatar? Last week we talked about this. There's many quotes from Vedic literatures that were there thousands of years before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, that not only say he's going to appear in a certain place, what his mother's name is going to be, what is his father's name, what he's going to do. I mean, all this is substantial evidence that he is an avatar. So we know nowadays many people declare themselves to be avatars or incarnations of God. But instead of being G-O-D, usually most of them are D-O-Gs. So, because anyone that says they're God, I mean, what can they do about it? You know, I'm God, I got sick, I have to go to the dentist. God has to go to the dentist? Not a good idea. So anyways, God is aptakama, he gets whatever he wants, and he's also swarat, he's independent. So whatever he wants, he gets immediately, and basically he doesn't have to kowtow or obey anyone else. So, that's an avatar, and that's why we know Lord Chaitanya is an avatar. So what does the word avatar mean? Avatar means someone who crosses down. It's like a bridge. Like avatar crosses down. Tara means like a bridge or a crossing place. And avatar means someone who crosses down. So anyway, so Lord Chaitanya came down to this world. And one may say, well, he's an avatar, but what does that mean in relationship to Krishna? What does that mean in relationship to Lord Vishnu? What does that mean in relationship to Lord Nrsingadev? What does that mean in relationship to all these other avatars that are really bona fide avatars? Well, they're all the same person. Wow. Advaita, Juda, Anantir, Anada, Ananta, Rupam, Ajam, Purana, Purusham, Navayovanam Cha, Vedeshu, Durlabam, Adurlabam, Atma Bhakto, Govindam, Adi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajami. There's only one God, G-O-D. But the interesting thing about him, and he is quite interesting. Actually, I'm supposed to have this garland, I think. Nowadays, you know, the modern world, give yourself your own garland. So, anyway, so it's hard to find submissive people anymore. So, anyway, so Advaita, Chuta, Nadir, Ananta Rupamajam, Purana, Purusham, Navayovanam Cha. There's one God, and he's always youthful too, because I think that God would not want to have old age and arthritis and rheumatism, kidney problems, be mentally struggling all the time. It's, you know, obviously. So there's one God, and he can appear in infinite number of places simultaneously, because the nature of God is he can do anything. He's unlimited, ananta. Ananta means without any end. Anta means end, ananta means without any end. So, you have someone who can do anything, and so he can play different roles, even simultaneously in the same location. We find different avatars, appearances of the Supreme Lord, appearing, let's say, Krishna and Balaram, and sometimes it appears they even have different opinions and they fight with each other. And this is because of ras. So the reason he comes down is to enjoy. And he also has a mission, too. Two things. He has his own, enjoyment, internal enjoyment, and he has a mission which is described in the Bhagavad Gita as what Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chadushkritam, to establish dharma, and to get rid of the adharmic people, or to purify the adharmic people, and to protect people who are dharmic. So this is his mission here on this earth, but he has his own purpose too, because that mission can be accomplished by his servants. God has a lot of servants. Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrahma Sevimanam Govindamadi Purasham Tamaham Bhajami. There's unlimited people, entities who are serving God, unlimited energies that are serving. There's different categories, like 3 categories of energies, but he doesn't need to do it. But he comes down himself because he likes to come down and enjoy ras. What is ras? Ras means like a taste of doing different things. Like all of us, we enjoy different rasas. We enjoy having relationships with others. Just like I was telling a devotee recently, they were saying, she sent an email to me that people live longer who are religious. And I said, well, people live even longer if they have a pet. So there's studies like that. So I'm not suggesting anything. Nandagopal will take me literally on this. He'll come with his dog tomorrow. So a cow, get a pet cow. So so we need relationships. When we don't have relationships, we start to die, isn't it? When we don't have any fun. And we have fun, like Krishna, God has fun in different ways, just like we do. He even has fun getting angry sometimes. And, dealing with people who are less than desirable. It's an interesting way to say that rather than D-E-M-O-N. So anyway, dealing with people who are less than desirable. So he has interesting ways and he likes to get angry. We like to get angry too sometimes. It's like, sometimes I play different sporting games with people and I'm yelling and screaming at the opposite party, saying, you rascal, you demon, even though they're devotees, and committing a mad elephant offense. So, you were playing volleyball, and go, you rascal, you're useless and hopeless. And they're saying the same thing to me, even though they're disciples. So, but that's sporting activity. Krishna likes that. He likes a sporting act. He's a sport. He's the best sport. And so he likes humor. He likes being shocked sometimes, like people sometimes go to horror movies to get shocked, or go to an amusement park, the House of Horrors. I used to do that when I was young. Got shocked with skeletons jumping out at me. So God is like that too. He's a person. Why why does he just have to sit up there in a throne all the time just dealing with you? That'd be pretty boring, All right, he's naughty, he's nice. Go to hell. Sorry. Go to heaven. Take a nice birth, take a bad birth. It's a pretty nasty business. God has someone to do that. He's called Yamaraj. And so basically, he wants to enjoy. So that's why he comes down. And so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like that too. He came down, avatar, descended, came to this world to enjoy these different activities, specifically the activity of saving people, because the activity of compassion is, in one sense, the most satisfying activity that there is. That if you can help someone, so Lord Chaitanya, basically, that's his mood. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandhu Jagat Pate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radhakanta Namostute. So he's Karuna Sindhu, he's an ocean of mercy. So whatever he does, even though it's for his enjoyment, is to help whoever he's interacting with. Even if he happens to kill you. You may say, what? How's that help? Well, that's help because anyone who gets directly killed by God gets liberated. That's pretty good. So should we all become God's enemies? Good idea. No, because that type of liberation is not desirable. But at the same time, whatever he does, he's all good. Even the punishing, even the whatever there is, it's for our benefit. So Krishna comes down, enjoys himself for our benefit, and that's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he appeared a little over 500 years ago, and as I mentioned in the beginning of this talk, if I ever get to the chanting, so that he was able to help people even by just being born. He was able to preach and get people to chant just by being born. How did he do that? Well, when he was born on the eclipse. For those of you who don't know, that in the Vedic astrology, eclipses are not considered so auspicious. It's considered inauspicious, like meteors and things like that. There's different signs. And many times, if you look at the history of the world, you'll see that when there were eclipses, there were major catastrophes on the Earth planet too, when there was a series of eclipses, because it sort of predicts something happening. These astrological signs are actually real. You know, if an expert astrologer can tell you who you were in your past life, he can tell you about your karma. You got to be careful. So, anyway, so during an eclipse, and what do people do during an eclipse? They don't just like do their normal stuff like getting drunk and everything like that. Like in America, you know, in America we just take out our eclipse glasses, right? And everybody's watching the eclipse. Isn't that cool? Isn't that true? I mean, you find that there's so much information in the news right now. Don't use this type of glass, don't use that type of glass. You know, got to protect your eyes. So, that's all right. I'm not going to criticize someone for watching the eclipse. So, but what they did in India at that time during the eclipse is they counteracted some of the bad karmic effects of an eclipse. So there's actually Vedic injunctions how to counteract negative influences. And of course, the best way to counteract negative influences is what? Anyone know? Yeah. Tasmat sankirtanam vishnur jaganmangalam agnasam mahatam apikaravya vijakantaka nishkritam is by chanting. And all the negative influences finished. Like Prabhupada, my spiritual master and the founder Acharya of the Krishna conscious movement, for whom we are eternally indebted for teaching us whatever we know, he told us that when someone dances and chants for Krishna, the line, not the same as the astrology, but it's equivalent to the astrology, the lines on your palm, you know, your heart lines, finding your beloved, but your heart lines, your heart, sorry about this, your lifelines, all the children at the edge of your hand, that's where the children are over there. Don't look. All these lines change and become auspicious. Prabhupada said that he created, because he gave us Krishna, he gave us Krishna's holy name, he created our good fortune. That's interesting, isn't it? Prabhupada has created our good fortune. So that's by the chanting. It's not the, oh, I create your good fortune, You don't have to do anything. You know, some people think, we were talking before about certain people who believe in certain religions, that just believing in you'll be saved. But you got to do something, because belief means you actually believe. Belief doesn't mean, God exists, okay, I'm saved. The Lord exists. No, you're not saved. The criminal believes the police exist. Does that make him an honest person? No. So you have to do something about it. So Prabhupada saved us by giving us this Maha Mantra and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. And so when you chant and dance, then all the lions chant, everything becomes auspicious. Wow. All that bad karma finished. For example, there was one of my friends, his name was Ajamil, and he had some spiritual trouble. He was a good disciple. I know. Anyway, so not really. It's a story in the Bhagavatam. He actually was a very good boy, but then he just deviated and did a lot of what we call bad karma stuff. Bad karma things means something that'll give you a bad reaction. Uh-oh. What's the solution, Mahamantra? Maybe you're going to switch mics. Why don't we just switch mics? I think that'll do it. Because there's frequency. Someone's phone is interfering. Okay. All right, we'll tolerate. Oh. Turn down the volume a little. I can speak louder. Okay. Can you still hear me? Okay, that's good. So, everybody, please turn your phone off. That includes me. We have this happen at GBC meetings too. Someone has their phone on it. Okay, that worked. It's probably me. So anyway, so Prabhupada created our good. Prabhupada said he created our good fortune by giving us this holy name. Because previously we had no good fortune. In other words, we had bad karma before. So Ajamil, getting back to the story of Ajamil was a good guy, and then he became a bad guy by, he just had some bad association. And he did so many horrible things. He had a lot of bad karma to work out. But fortunately, he remembered the name of Krishna, which is one of the names of Krishna, Narayan, because he named his son Narayan and was chanting Narayan right when he was getting ready to leave this world. And as a result, he was purified of all of his bad karma. Of course, don't think that, I can do all sorts of bad things and just chant Narayan, 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 Narayan. He was doing this without the intention of purifying himself. He wasn't taking advantage of Krishna's name. So, but still, Prabhupada gave us Krishna's name as long as we keep chanting, as long as we follow the practices. Prabhupada gave the very simple practices, chanting, and 4 regulated principles, no bad karma. And Prabhupada saves us. So, getting back to the story of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, that people understood to counteract the evil effects or the bad effects or whatever effects of the eclipse, chanting was necessary. So they chanted. Not only did they chant, but they went to the Ganges River. Now, the Ganges River in India is considered a very sacred river because there's stories of how the Ganges washed the lotus feet of Krishna in a particular incarnation, and that other avatar was known as Lord Vamanadev. And so people regularly go to the Ganges to purify themselves. And of course you may think, well, what about the poor Ganges? Gets everybody's impurities. Well, the Ganges even gets purified by great personalities who bathe in the Ganges, who purify even the Ganges. But in any case, everyone went to the Ganges, or just about everyone went to the Ganges, and they were chanting Krishna's name. So Lord Chaitanya's birth really forced people, not even forced people, but got people to chant Krishna's name. And they were half submerged in the Ganges. They didn't fully submerge themselves. And they were chanting Krishna's name, and Lord Chaitanya appeared in such a fashion with everybody chanting the holy name. I remember many years ago, I was in Mayapur where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and it happened to be an eclipse on Gaura Purnima. Were you there, Kuladri, that year? Something like 72 or 73 or something. And it was amazing. We were all in the Ganges chanting Krishna's name during the rising of the moon and the eclipse there. It was just reliving Lord Chaitanya's appearance. So, anyway, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got people chanting from the beginning, and also he got the name Gaura Hari, which basically means the Golden Lord, and because he was getting people to chant after his birth by crying incessantly unless people chanted Krishna's name. You know, everyone tried to stop him from crying, but the only thing that worked was Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And this way, continually, he was getting people to chant. And even when he started to be a teacher later on, he would teach Sanskrit in terms of Krishna's names. So everything was absorbed in Krishna's name. This is the yuga dharma. Yuga dharma means each and every period of time, which are called yugas. Right now, for those of you who don't know, we're in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is in Kaler, Doshadate Rajan, Asheko Mahadguna, is really bad, but has one good quality, and that good quality is Kirtanada Eva Krishnashas Mukta Sangha Paramvajat. Simply by chanting Krishna's name, one can get liberated or become Krishna conscious. Simply by doing that's all you got to do. It's not difficult, no austerity. Just eat prasadam, chant, and be free. That's a poem I wrote. It's easy to do, no austerity. Just eat prasadam, chant, and be free. Of course, chant and eat, or eat and chant, whatever. So Lord Chaitanya was teaching from the very, very beginning. And this is the Yuga Dharma. Other yugas, other dharmas were more prominent, such as the austerity of Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is like the physical yoga, or the austerity of big sacrifices with mountains of gold, or big temple worship, or stuff like that. But in this age of Kali, where people are very short-lived, unfortunate, memory is really diminished, so many diseases there, people are fighting with each other. It's called the Iron Age. Like you see, if you read the news, people are fighting with each other for absolutely silly reasons. Isn't it? I mean, all these wars going on for what reason? What's the benefit for anybody? And so this is called the Age of Iron, the Age of Quarrel, and simply by chanting, and that's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll chant this song and then chant Hare Krishna afterwards, if that's all right. And give me the guitar. And the song is up there. Just be a minute or two. Okay. Oh my God. Sorry, 5:04. All right. And the words are: Lord Chaitanya's moon is rising, because it's a full moon. No, it's not at all surprising that we're singing in the street, telling everyone we meet we're going home. And there's a golden moon overhead now. We must serve Chaitanya somehow. He's the golden avatar. Spread the names of Krishna far to every town, to every single town. And then the Hare Krishna mantra. This world is dark and full of sorrow, but there will come a bright tomorrow when we sing the holy name in praise of He who came for everyone, for each and every one. That's Lord Chaitanya. Okay, and I just learn this song, so if I make a mistake, please, everyone forgive me. Lord Chaitanya's moon is rising. No, it's not at all surprising that we're singing in the street, telling everyone we meet we're going home. Does everyone want to chant that in response? Lord Chaitanya's moon is rising. No, it's not at all surprising that we're singing in the street, telling everyone we meet we're going home. There's a golden moon overhead now. We must serve Chaitanya somehow. He's the golden avatar. Spreads the names of Krishna far to every town. There's a golden moon overhead now. We must serve Chaitanya somehow. He's the golden avatar. Spread the names of Krishna far to every town. To every town. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This world is dark and full of sorrow, but there will be a bright tomorrow. And we sing the holy name in praise of He who came for everyone. For everyone. Okay, you can try it. This world is dark and full of sorrow, but there will come a bright tomorrow when we sing the holy name in praise of who came for everyone. For everyone. Lord Chaitanya's moon is rising. It's all surprising that we're singing in the street, telling everyone we meet we're going home. Okay, Lord Chaitanya's moon is rising. Oh, it's all surprising. They're singing in the street, telling everyone we meet we're going home. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So, that was fun. Supposed to have fun in spiritual life. Lord Chaitanya always had fun in everything I did. So let me explain a few things. Actually, we have a few minutes left. Let's see. Ooh, not many. About Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's internal reasons for coming down to this world. Because we did mention the external reason, or the apparent reason for all of us, is he came to save us. Actually, one thing Prabhupada said, Prabhupada came to save us and shave us. But anyway, Prabhupada had that statement. But Lord Chaitanya actually came in this Kali Yuga to just free us out of his great compassion. Therefore, he's known as Namo Mahavanyaya Krishna Prema Padai, and that's the most merciful avatar. Because Krishna is merciful. We all already quoted that, Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu. But Krishna in his other appearances has certain conditions to make for someone to become Krishna conscious. So Krishna, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives the main condition, which is what Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mameka, you better surrender under threat of bad karma. So, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he does away with that requirement. Instead of just surrender, it's just chant the holy name. And when you chant the holy name, you don't have to worry, as I mentioned, about austerities, because you will get a raso varjam raso, you'll get a better taste or a higher taste. I was asked the question earlier today by some of the students that, what about giving up things and this and that? I said, you don't think about that. Think about the positive. Because if you think about the negative never goes away. But if you think about the positive and the ecstasy and the pleasure that comes from chanting, why does the pleasure come from chanting? Well, let me explain. Namachin tamani Krishna's Chaitanya rasa vigra purna shuddhamicumukto pinatwam namanamido. The pleasure comes from chanting because the chanting is non-different from Krishna, and Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure. So when you come in contact with a reservoir, that means where everything is. Reservoir, water, reservoir. So of pleasure, of ecstasy, then you become so happy that you don't pay attention to anything else. Hopefully you do pay attention to your schoolwork. But anyway, but at least as far as everything that's detrimental to spiritual life, it becomes inconsequential. It's no longer attractive. And I gave you the example earlier, just like a little kid who's playing, he doesn't notice that he's hungry because he's having a good time. So Krishna consciousness is like that. Sometimes my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada was asked the question, don't you devotees do anything for, recreation? Of course we do things, I do play sports. But do you do anything, and Prabhupada said that the Krishna conscious movement is practically, the process of Krishna consciousness is practically a process of recreations, vacation all the time. I've been doing the same thing for over 55 years. And it's a vacation. I think it's so enjoyable that maybe someone will come in and arrest me for having a good time. Is it illegal for someone my age to have a good time and be joking and be happy and be serving Krishna and going around the world? I don't know. So anyway, Prabhupada has given us this, and that's the higher taste, so that automatically, whatever may be austere, let's take austerities like becoming a vegetarian, eating prasadam. I know the time. I'm looking at my watch too. Yeah, so that's all right. So what may appear like eating, spiritual food, vegetarian food offered to Krishna is an austerity. It's actually the most pleasurable thing in the world. And chanting is most pleasurable. And following what's called the regulative principles of freedom, the 4 regulative principles, may appear to be an austerity, especially in the modern day and world. But it's actually, you get happiness by following it because you come to the mode of goodness. You are able to chant with clarity. You're able to focus your mind. You're able to be happy. It's not an austerity. So therefore, that's the external reason Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. His own reason out of compassion. As I mentioned, he's much more compassionate in that mood. Why is he more compassionate? Okay. Because he's in the mood of Radharani. For those of you who don't know, some of the students here may not know, that the absolute truth has 2 aspects. There's male aspect and female aspect. Because this is natural, just like in this world. We have men, women, and people of all sorts of varieties, of course. But that's what makes life nice, that there's variety. If everybody was just coming from like a cookie cutter, exactly the same, it would be a boring world. So in the spiritual realm, in the relationship with the absolute nature, there is Krishna and Srimati Radharani, the feminine counterpart of the Supreme Lord. So, because this very much ties in with the personal reason why Krishna is more merciful. It's very much connected. The personal reason that Krishna came down. So Krishna, God, he wants to basically understand why the feminine counterpart, Srimati Radharani, loves him so much, and she enjoys more than him, and he wants to see himself from her perspective. Oftentimes we go to people and we say, what do I look like to you? And of course they usually don't tell me the truth, but that's another subject matter. But so Krishna wants that. You may say he's God. Why doesn't he know? Why doesn't he know? Because he wants to enjoy. Because sometimes there's this thing called Yogamaya, or the energy of God called Yogamaya, that enables God to forget that he's God. What's the benefit of that? So we can enjoy. If someone, let's say, if someone in a big political position wants to enjoy with his family, he can't go home and just have his wife expect to call him Mr. President. It doesn't work. He has to forget, for some reason or other, that he's the president, he's the prime minister, or he's the boss of a particular company or whatever. Like right now, of course, right now, I happen to be a member of what's called the governing body commission in ISKCON. And there's all these problems happening. Kaladri will tell you about it. He's my boss. So, so there, all these problems are happening that we got to deal with. The temple, one temple, there's not enough finances. Another temple, someone's gone crazy. So we got to protect the trademarks, isn't it? So all these different things. So I have to forget about it sometimes, or else I'll go crazy. So, of course, God never goes crazy. So to enjoy, you have to really put aside, certainly like if you're going to school or university, you have to forget about your test sometime. Of course, not at the wrong time. You have the right time. You forget about it so you can actually just like chill out, as they say. So Krishna, he enjoys more those intimate exchanges and forgetting. So he, in order to taste relationship, he wants to taste the relationship and understand the relationship with his feminine counterpart, Srimati Radharani. So the only way you can do it is what's called role playing. Oftentimes when I have to deal, people have conflicts, I tell them to do a role play. Okay, here's the husband, here's the wife. Okay, you become the wife, you become the husband. Not permanently. And you take each other's role and you see the other one. Perspective taking, it's called, right? You've heard of this before? It's a common term. So Krishna wants to take the perspective of Srimati Radharani to understand and appreciate and to enjoy, because the interesting thing is serving Krishna is more enjoyable than being Krishna. That's a hint for all of you who want to be Krishna conscious. Some people may think, I'd like to be God. It'd be really cool to be God. I can get whatever I want, okay. I want pizza today, I want ice cream, whatever. I want to have a spiritual... No, it's not as enjoyable as serving God. That's the enjoyment. And so Krishna wants that enjoyment. So in order to have that particular enjoyment, he takes on the mood of his feminine counterpart. And when he takes on this mood, he's able to experience the ecstasies of serving himself. And those ecstasies, Krishna consciousness is a science. Those ecstasies are actually described by our great teachers, which are called acharyas. They delineate in a very scientific fashion different types of ecstasies, uncontrollable ecstasies, which in Sanskrit is called vyabhacharya, sanchari bhavas. And it's just amazing how scientific the description of these ecstasies are. And so Krishna wants to experience them, and he wants to experience them in the highest degree. To the degree sometimes that one is feeling so much ecstasy that not only tears are coming from the eyes, but actually fainting or unconscious, practically being unconscious, practically at the point of death, being so ecstatic like that, especially the ecstasy of what we call separation. In the material world, separation is very painful. Like if I am separated, let's say I'm separated from Nanda Gopal here. Sorry if I use you. I feel great pain because there's no one I can tease and get away with it. So, but if I'm separated, it's separated. I can chant his name over and over again. We're not together. Of course, I can go on WhatsApp, communicate with him. But in any case, it's actual separation. But in the spiritual realm, like chanting Krishna's name, we're not separated from Krishna. Isn't that cool? One of the reasons I took up chanting is because I realized that I could have my best friend with me 24/7. Wasn't that cool? And a friend who cared about me, a friend who was God. I mean, imagine having a friend. It's God. Who's your friend? God. All I had to do was chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And my best friend was with me. So Krishna wants to experience that in terms of that relationship with Radharani. And so that's called separation, but separation, thinking intensely. You think more intensely about the person when you're separated with them, from them, and then you're more with them. In this world, the more we think of someone when we're separated, we're not with them. They may be doing something completely different and not even care about us. But the spiritual relationship, it's so sweet like that. And even between people who are Krishna conscious, devotees, there's some connection there, what to speak of with Krishna. So Krishna is in that ecstatic mood, and being in that ecstatic mood, because the interesting thing is, Srimati Radharani, Krishna's feminine counterpart, is compassionate. Like, you ladies are generally more compassionate. I mean, there's exceptions. More compassionate. I mean, there was one lady who was the Prime Minister of the UK. They called her the Iron Lady. You may not know who that was. And also in India, there was a lady Prime Minister who was pretty heavy, Indira Gandhi. So anyway, but ladies generally much more soft-hearted, compassionate. Like, I experienced that the other day. There was one disciple I really wanted to chastise, and I asked one of the other ladies to take care of it for me, and she was just too soft-hearted. I said, "Oh my God, why didn't you chastise?" Anyway, so when Krishna is in the mood of his feminine counterpart, Srimati Radharani, he becomes so soft-hearted that he's ready to give out Krishna consciousness to anyone. Dina, Hina, Yata, Chilo, Harinam, Udarilo. At any point, and as we mentioned before, to trick people into chanting. To trick people. I'll give you an example of how he tricked some Buddhists one time into chanting. Once upon a time, there are some Buddhists who oppose, I mean, nothing wrong with Buddhism, but these Buddhists wanted to oppose Lord Chaitanya. Okay. And so they wanted to feed him impure food. That's one way you can really get someone, impure food. So they brought this plate of food, and they said to Lord Chaitanya, here's this wonderful, what's called prasada, mercy of the Lord. Please, take it. And so they were attempting to blaspheme him, criticize him, or who knows, even poison. And so what happened is that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he's God too, he knows what's going on, he arranged that a big bird picked up the plate and dropped it on the head of the head Buddhist guy. And so this head Buddhist guy, he became completely unconscious. Everyone thought he was going to die. And so all of his disciples went up to him and said, "Oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my void." So anyway, so they went up to him and they went to Lord Chaitanya, "Can you do anything?" And Lord Chaitanya said, "I have the remedy. Chant Hare Krishna Dem." So he initiated these same people who were attacking him. Can you imagine that? I mean, how many people would be kind to someone who's attacking you? I mean, of course, you see that in the Bible too, like Lord Jesus Christ. He's saying about the people who are putting him on the cross, he said, "Forgive them, Lord, they know not what they're doing." And also this devotee Haridas Thakur, he was kind to the people who were even whipping him because they were trying to stop him from chanting Hare Krishna. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave the people the holy name, chanted Hare Krishna. All right, let's chant Hare Krishna. So he chanted Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in this way, they all became devotees, and then they chanted it to their head monk, and he got initiated by them. And they all started dancing and chanting, and they had a good time. So anyway, so there's so many stories. I was going to read so many stories. I don't have time right now because it's time for the Abhishek. But the main point is, but Lord Chaitanya is the most beneficent because he is in the mood of his dearmost devotee, Srimati Radharani. And because of that, he's freely giving out everything, and we should take advantage of his compassion today. And we're all going to get a chance to give him a bath. his deity form, to give him a bath and chant his names and see a nice play about Lord Chaitanya. It's just so wonderful. I mean, it's a complete ecstasy. This whole week has been complete ecstasy for me, just thinking about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearing. And of course, this song, Lord Chaitanya is calling. Chant the holy name. There's another song to which I don't have time to chant. So, in any case, it's time. So, thank you all very much for listening attentively. We're going to have this Abhishek now for Shishi Gaura. Abhishek means we have the little forms of Shishi Gaura Nitai, which are called deities, because Krishna can appear in that particular form. Krishna can appear in his name, and there is a bathing program, and they'll be chanting at the same time, right? And so we want to thank you all. So, Ditya Narayan Prabhu, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. So first of all, let's thank His Holiness Bhai Krishna Goswami Maharaj for the wonderful talk on the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's give a big Hari Bol to Maharaj. Hari Bol! Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. So as Maharaj mentioned, our next program is going to be Abhishek. And since we have a big crowd and we have many programs scheduled, so immediately after the Abhishek, we are going to have a short Gaura Aarti, and then we'll go downstairs for the drama and dance performance. So one request while we are doing Abhishek, so the Abhishek will be right here in the center, right? And we'll have a Kirtan, the main Kirtan group right there. And we'll have two lines, one coming from this side, one coming from that side. But a humble request that please come with your family, so the whole family can offer together, right? We want to keep up our time, and we want to do it in a nice way. So please come with your whole family, and you all will get an opportunity to bathe Shri Shri Panchatattva. And while the Abhishek is going on, we'll have wonderful kirtans. This is a time, chant loudly, dance, and just experience the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So please everyone join us in the wonderful chanting and dancing we have during the Abhishek. So everyone can kindly stand up. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Shri Panchatattva ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Everyone can please join me, we'll chant together. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So where is the Kirtan party devotees playing Mridanga Karta? Okay, here.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Shatyadeshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Nitai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare